All right. A good Erev Shabbos, everybody. Ay, 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 ay. What a world, what a world. The Machlokes of Korach v'Chol Hadasai. The spirit of Korach seems to spread in the world. It certainly makes me very uncomfortable to hear about what's going on in the world. And that's why it's so important to overcome this. It's so important to follow that which Scripture says. Lo yeh k'Korach v'Hadasai. Do not be like Korach and his followers, his congregation. And once again, we're finding ourselves in that world of Korach. Because what are the people saying? Korach was a communist. And yet he really wanted the power for himself, right? He used this terminology of communism, Chola Eidach Kulam Kadoshim, the entire assembly, they're all holy. Madua Misnas Al Kahal Hashem. Why do you lift yourselves up, he's saying to Moses and to Aaron, above the congregation of the Lord? Who do you think you are? We're all equal, we're all holy. Classless society, right? That's what Korach was talking about, but we all know that he really wanted the power for himself. We discussed in past years, you can look at, I have a lot of videos that I did on Korach, hours of videos between me and Rabbi Fishbane on this website. You just search on this channel. If you search Korach, I know it's almost Shabbos, so it's too late to watch all of them, but you could chop one of them or two of them before Shabbos. Or you could probably chop all of them before Shabbos if I get this up soon enough. I'm recording about 5 o'clock. I don't know, probably won't be up till around 6, maybe 5:45. But I've been watching those because I showed them this past Wednesday at work, and I don't remember. Usually I have certain divrei Torah that I remember and I use every year, and I go back and listen to these, and I was like, I was impressed by what was there in the old videos from years past. But I encourage you to watch those videos on this channel about Korach, because essentially this is what we're seeing right now, as I just mentioned. The whole world is going crazy. They say a word, Black Lives Matter, but do they really mean it? Obviously not. If they cared about black lives, they'd care about black on black crime. But they don't. They just care about what can they use to be politically expedient. I don't know if this story with George Floyd was racially motivated or not. Does it really matter? A man who didn't deserve to die was killed in a horrible way. But the left can't let any tragedy go to waste. They have to make race riots about this. And then in the end, now they're looking at the people who are showing up at these rallies and so forth. A very small percentage of them are actually black. They have a few people out in front, and it's mostly And not only that, but a lot of these people who are committing the vandalism and so forth, who are doing looting or have been doing looting in the past, they come with fancy, expensive cars. These are just rich people looking for fun. It's a form of decadence. You know, the same people, they complain, oh, the 1%, when they're really from the 1%, and they're really taking advantage of people, stealing from people. And then they go lecture us about how bad, what do they call it, capitalism is? Seriously? And it's all about power, and they're saying if they don't get their way, they're going to burn the whole thing down, and this and that. What the hell's going on? How are they getting away with this? One of my coworkers told me, I know there was some area where people were going swimming where they're not supposed to go swimming. And so they imposed a $300 fine. So someone said, so what are you going to do? He said, well, I'm not going to pay it. What are they going to do? They're going to put me in jail for going swimming? And I hear on one hand, you know, certain things are unjust. On the other hand, you can't trespass, you can't steal. And it's just a crazy world what's going on here. And this is that same spirit of Korach. Well, then the truth is, it's too kind. You know, our Rav here, Rabbi Fishbein Zolgazunstein, he always tells the story. There was a Rav, was Parshas Korach, got up to give a drasha about Korach and how we should avoid machlokes, how we have to avoid strife, how we have to avoid controversy. And one of the congregants there got up and said, Rabbi, why are you picking on me? He said, what are you talking about? He said, I know that your whole sermon was talking about me. You know, because this guy was always getting into arguments with people. He said, I wasn't talking about you, I was talking about Korach. He said, you're going to compare yourself to Korach? Korach was a Talmud Chochem, he was a scholar. Korach was a Yachsin. He had a pedigree. Korach was a wealthy person. You're gonna compare yourself to Korach? I'm not comparing you to Korach. And it's true, you know. These aren't big yichus like Korach, mamzerim. If not literally, at least colloquially. What kind of crazy world we live in. And the truth is, you know, the Baba Varav, Kedushas Tzion, Zecher Tzaddik Livrocha, Hashem Yimkom Damai, the great holy martyr, the Kedushas Tzion. He said that really, when Moshe Rabbeinu was saying to Korach, he said, you know what, you're 100% right with everything you're saying. You know, along the lines of what the Rebbe Melech said, when it says, V'yiplo Pneihem, that Moshe and Aaron fell on their faces. So why did Moshe fall on his face? So Chazal say that we should not fall on our face in prayer unless we're certain that we're going to be answered in prayer the way that Yehoshua ben Nun was, the way Joshua was answered in prayer, and he fell on his face. If we're sure like that, if we have that clarity and faith in our prayers, then we can fall on our face. Otherwise, we're not allowed to fall on our face in prayer. But so Moshe Rabbeinu, it should seem, you know, he was Yehoshua's teacher. So Moshe Rabbeinu, of course, should be able to fall on his face in prayer. But the thing was, the way that the Rebbe Melech says Derech Halotza in somewhat of a humorous manner. He said that Moshe Rabbeinu was the Hanav Mikol Adam. He was the most humble man who ever lived. So, in his humility, he never fell on his face. But then, everyone's, Korach starts saying, Moshe, you hold yourself up. Madu is not so Kal Hashem. Why are you lifting yourself above the congregation of the Lord? Why you hold yourself in such high esteem? Why do you think you're such a big shot? Meaning to say, if Korach saying I'm such a big shot, maybe I am, and maybe I am able to fall on my face, The same thing, like Moshe, according to the Baba Rav, Moshe Rabbeinu agreed with everything Korach said. The issue, and it's the same thing here. Of course we agree Black Lives Matter. Is there anybody in America who doesn't think Black Lives Matter? The issue isn't with the statement. The issue is with who is abusing this statement, who's hiding behind this statement to commit treason. Statement's a good statement. Same thing. Cholei de kulam kadeshim. It's a good statement. It's true. But why is this being said? What's going on here? So Moshe Rabbeinu said, I agree with everything you say, Korach. But Loim Libi, this isn't from me. This is all from God. All your complaints are against God, not against us. I didn't want any of this. I didn't do any of this. I didn't make my brother a priest. God did it. And I saw someone said that I think it was Reb Nachman of Breslov or Reb Nosson said that was the whole sin of Korach, was that he wanted to make all the mitzvahs make sense. Like when he's asking Tal Shekulat Chelas Bayis Molis Forim, instead of saying that Chelas is a chok and we have to do what God says, he wants to make it the way it makes sense. Instead of saying that the mezuzah is a chok and we have to just do what God says, he wants it to make sense. And it's not about making sense, it's about doing what God said. It's the same thing here. We gotta, we can't undermine that. And then it goes further, Oy. What Reb Tzadok says is that really Korach almost was saying, if you take a certain face value, this whole thing was said almost like Moshe Rabbeinu's Mashiach. And Mashiach is here already, and you started to live like Mashiach is here already. And we have to say no. Mashiach isn't here. It's not the way we do things. We can't live like Mashiach is here when Mashiach's not here yet. We gotta recognize the world's not perfect yet. We're not ready for things that we're not ready for yet. We gotta take everything one step at a time, one day at a time. We can't just do whatever we want. And that's another danger. Living like Mashiach is here already. Conducting ourselves in such a way, can't do that. Can't do that. Oh. Organic plots. How are you? All right. Have a good Shabbos. Thank you for watching. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe. Comment. We'll see you later. Take care.